I slid into the driver's seat of my car, the door slamming shut with a thud that echoed in the quiet night. Without a glance back, I turned the key, the engine roaring to life, and pulled away from the curb where Emily sat, likely frozen in a whirlwind of confusion and distress. Her mind must have been a storm of questions, grappling with the abruptness of my departure. I knew the weight of my actions would hit her hard, but lingering wasn't an option. The truth I'd uncovered bore down on me like a leaden cloak, urging me forward. Tonight wasn't about unraveling the chaos or confronting her betrayal head-on. It was about taking the first deliberate step toward reclaiming my life, a life where she no longer held a place. As I drove, the cool night breeze slipped through the cracked window, mingling with the steady hum of the engine. The rhythm of the road became a soothing backdrop to my racing thoughts. I needed to find a sliver of calm, a way to navigate the wreckage of this nightmare and emerge on the other side. The city lights blurred past, each one a fleeting reminder of the world moving forward, even as mine seemed to crumble. When I pulled up to Daniel's house, the soft, inviting glow of the porch light cut through the darkness, offering a flicker of solace. The rich aroma of homemade shepherd's pie wafted toward me as I stepped out of the car, stirring memories of the warm, comforting haven Daniel and Clara always provided. They greeted me at the door, their faces brightening with genuine warmth, though I caught the subtle concern in their eyes as they noticed the tension etched into my frame. Daniel clapped a hand on my shoulder, his grin wide but tempered. "Good to see you, Ethan. Come on in, make yourself comfortable," he said, his voice hearty yet laced with an undercurrent of worry. Clara stepped closer, her smile gentle and reassuring, her eyes conveying an unspoken understanding that I wasn't here for idle chit-chat. "You look like you've been through the ringer," she said softly, her tone a balm to my frayed nerves. "Let's get some food in you." Their kindness, so sincere and unassuming, momentarily eased the ache in my chest. I followed them inside, determined to set aside thoughts of Emily and her deception, if only for a few hours. Over dinner, I steered the conversation toward safer topics: my job, my curiosity about working with Daniel's crew. I peppered him with questions about the dynamics of his team, his plans for growth, anything to keep the mood light. But as the evening wore on, the facade grew harder to maintain. The emotions churning within me, anger, hurt, betrayal, threatened to spill over, and Clara, ever observant, noticed the shift in my demeanor. She leaned forward, her voice steady yet compassionate. "Ethan, you don't have to open up if you're not ready, but we're here if you need to talk." I hesitated, the burden of my secret pressing against my ribs. For days, weeks even, I bottled it up, but tonight, it felt like the dam was about to burst. With a heavy exhale, I set my spoon down, the faint clink against the bowl piercing the cozy silence. "It's Emily," I said, the words tumbling out like a long-held confession. "She's been unfaithful. Not just once but with multiple people." Daniel's fork froze halfway to his mouth, his eyes widening in disbelief, his expression shifting from concern to shock. "Ethan, I'm so sorry," he said, his voice low, heavy with sympathy. Clara reached across the table, her hand resting gently on mine. "I can't imagine how much this hurts," she said, her voice thick with empathy. I swallowed hard, fighting to keep my composure. "It's worse," I continued, my voice quivering. "It's with my boss, Richard, and some of his buddies, including his son. I have evidence, texts, photos, emails. Seeing it, knowing it. It's gut-wrenching." Daniel's jaw tightened at the mention of Richard's name. "Richard? That's despicable," he muttered, shaking his head. Clara's gaze softened further, her voice steady. "Do you have anyone else to lean on, Ethan? Friends, family, anyone outside of us?" I shook my head, the isolation settling deeper. "Not really. That's why I came here tonight. I needed to tell someone who might get it." Daniel's tone grew resolute. "You've got a spot with my team, Ethan. We'll sort out the details whenever you're ready." Clara chimed in, her voice warm but firm. "And if you need to talk, whether it's just to vent or to find a professional to help you through this, I can point you in the right direction. We're in your corner." Their support felt like a lifeline, a beacon in the storm I hadn't realized I was so desperate for. For the first time in weeks, I felt a glimmer of hope, a sense that I wasn't entirely alone. As the night progressed, we delved into the practicalities of switching jobs and navigating the fallout of my marriage. The weight of it all still loomed large, But a fragile optimism began to take root. I didn't know how things would unfold, but for the first time in a long time, I felt like there might be a path forward. When I returned home, the house was still, Emily already tucked away in bed. The silence was stifling, pressing against me like a physical force. I stood in the living room surveying the space we'd once shared, the photos on the mantel, the furniture we'd picked out together, and wondered how it had all unraveled so thoroughly. Then I sank onto the couch, staring into the darkness, the weight of my heart mirrored by the shadows around me. Tomorrow would bring difficult conversations, and I braced myself for the storm ahead. The next morning I faced Emily, my resolve hardened. I held up the evidence, screenshots, messages, undeniable proof of her betrayal. "What's this, Emily?" I asked, my voice sharp and unyielding. "Richard's not the only one, is he? His son, his friends, strangers I've never even met. Did they take advantage of you? Or did you dive into this mess willingly?" Her face collapsed, tears spilling down her cheeks. I don't know how it spiraled like this," she whispered, her voice trembling with regret. "It started with Richard, but then it snowballed. I felt trapped, ashamed. I didn't know how to face you." "Trapped?" I shot back, my frustration boiling over. "You weren't coerced, Emily. You made choices, every single one a betrayal. You let it spiral, and now you want to act like the victim." She sobbed, her hands covering her face. "I know I screwed up, Ethan. I know I don't deserve you, but I still love you." I slammed my fist on the table, the sound cutting through her tears. "Don't you dare talk about love," I growled. "You don't destroy someone you love. You don't humiliate them, shatter their trust, and tear their life apart. Love? You threw that away the moment you chose Richard over me." She fell silent, her tears the only sound in the room. After a tense pause, I leaned back, my voice quieter but no less firm. "This is done, Emily. There's no salvaging it. I'm filing for divorce, and there's nothing more to say." Her head bowed, her voice barely a whisper. "What do you want me to do?" I met her gaze, unflinching. "Pack your things and leave before the papers are served. Stay out of my life, my home, my world. You wanted Richard and his circus? You're free to go." Her shoulders trembled as the reality of my words sank in. "I'll leave tomorrow," she murmured. I stood, unable to look at her any longer. "Good. The sooner the better." Without another word, I turned and left the room, leaving her to face the consequences of her choices alone.